Good evening, everyone. This is Professor Shaw. Welcome to my storytelling time. This is a wonderful time to talk about love. How's that? So I have a topic. It's called simple, basic love. How can we develop simple, basic love? It's a very important topic because when we have such a love, we can build relationship. We can really make people having interest in you and become your friends, and becoming your wife, right? Becoming your girlfriends and boyfriends. So this is something really important and critical to develop a kind of a loving heart called simple and basic love. The first story I'd like to talk about is a particular high school senior. He went to high school and have seen a girl so beautiful in his class, and he fond of her and underneath loved her so much. But the thing is, one day he saw this lady he loved is folding stars using paper to develop little stars just like everybody have seen before and put it into a jar. This is a kind of habit or kind of like a hobby to do something really nice. If when they share with their friends, hey, this is my star, I'll give it to you, and remember me by seeing the things in the star or something. And this boy was kind of interested in what she is building and making. And he asked, what are these stars I'm making for? Who will that be person? So lucky to receive these stars. And she said, oh, it's for that gentleman that I love. This young man looked at her with a very sad eye and make sorrowful because the lady never said that these stars are made for you. Okay, that means if you were that person, you're the one that I love. So she never said these stars are made for you. On the day of graduation, something really interesting happened. This young lady make a door in linen, paint or clothing type of thing to put it as in the door shape. So she gave it to this young man. The young man don't know what's going on. She gave me a door. Right? What's that? I'm a boy, right? How can I play door later? So this gentleman went away after graduation, and later he got into universities, finally graduated and got a job. He married another girl. So after 2 years, they have a child. This is a lady child, right? That's a girl. So this girl, having this father give her this doll, she got it from that girlfriend in the school. And she played with that doll. But because that doll already around 6 to 8 years already in history, that old, right? She played with that for some time. She ripped off the head of the doll. And you know what is coming out from that doll? The gentleman was shocked to see, wow, stars of paper coming out from that doll. And he was just felt so unhappy, so sorrowful because why don't you tell me about this before? And saying that you really like me or love me. But now you give me that paper stars. And actually, I lost a good chance to have married somebody I like in the high school. You see? So this basic love is coming from that girl, showing that these stars are actually for my best boyfriend or something that I love, right? The second story comes with a couple, a man and a woman, a girl and a boy or something. They are having married for almost 5 years. They once in a while go into quarrels or shouting on each other unhappily. And the girl suggests something really interesting. And she said, hey, if you argue with me and fight with me, would you mind put all the things you don't like about me on a piece of paper, one after the other, right? Make it small and put it into a jar. so that when I have some free time, I may look into it and see what happened. What are the things that you don't like about me so that I can change, right, for your good. Okay? And the boy said, you did the same thing for me. Okay? Whenever I yell at you, I'll put down something I don't like about you. You see, so that you can also look into my kind of writings in the jar that has been folded. Now, at one time, that girl was so busy, so she accumulated almost papers of almost 3 months in the jar from her husband. So she looked into it. You know what she found? Every single paper only with 3 words, the same 3 words, with all the little papers that had been folded. You know what's inside written down? I love you. I love you. I love you. All the way, with all the papers with the same note, but not anything that he doesn't like about her, but only with 3 words, I love you. Wow, this is very interesting, because this tells that the gentleman always loves to forget something that his wife has done wrong for him. So she just forget and then write down the good things he is with her is I love you, right? The third story talks about a kind of a mouse, right, from heaven. This is a pretty much like folklore, right, or maybe a child kind of story. Okay, a children's story time now. The mouse said to the king in heaven, in saying that, hey, I would like to go down to the earth and visit the people, okay, below the heaven, okay. But that king of heaven tell him, hey, little mouse, if you want to come back to heaven, what do? You need to conquer that big elephant before you can allow to come back to heaven. So he went down without saying anything and said, hey, I'll do it, right? Something like that. But when he saw that big elephant, he was so afraid. Wow, this is really something. That elephant is really big, right? So he tried to think about a way that he can kill that elephant and conquer him. So he went into that nose of that elephant, right? The long nose as a hose, right? So he went in and tried to stuff that nose so that the elephant cannot breathe and die. But unfortunately, that elephant is so powerful. He just sneezed, right? And the red is coming out. The mouse was so afraid because the elephant is chasing after him and trying to put him to death by using his big trunk and trying to kill him. So they were enemies after this encounter. That's really troubling, that mouse. But in one time, that elephant went out for some kind of like picnic or something. He ran into the trap of the hunters, and he was caught in a net, and he cannot move a bit. But when the mouse heard about that, he went to see the elephant. And the elephant, when he saw that mouse, he has tears coming out from his eyes. And the mouse said, hey, wow, this is wonderful. That's my turn to kill you, right? I bite you to death or something like that. But by the time he approached it later, closer and closer, then what happened? He saw more tears coming from the eyes of that elephant. He changed his mind and become pitiful. Then what happened? He just helped to bite all the strings from the net into pieces to try to release the elephant. And later, after the elephant has been released, they become good friends. And the elephant said, hey, I'll do whatever you want. I'll obey as you as the king, right? Okay, you're the one higher than I do. But that mouse said, no need. So suddenly, the mouse can go up to the sky and go back to heaven. Why? Because he has that love and conquer that big stubborn elephant. So he won in every occasion. Now, how does that help us to learn something about the Bible? In the Bible, we know in the Old Testament that gentleman called, we have like, look at to the situation of King Solomon. King Solomon at one time be a judge, right, for two women fighting for a young kid, a boy, because one of the ladies slept and killed his own baby. But the other one, baby was okay. But the wicked lady said, your baby is my baby. You took my baby, right? Let's give it back to me. So they went to see King Solomon. And King Solomon said, you two are fighting. No need to fight. Let me chop off that baby into two halves. And each get a share. Then you don't need to fight anymore. The true mother with a caring love for his baby never will hurt the baby. So she said, I give up. I give the baby to my opponent. Let her take care of him. So the King Solomon was so smart. He knew who is the true mother behind that. Why? Because only the mother that has his own baby will love the baby, even giving him her life. Something really important and great behind that. Why? Because this is showing motherly, simple love behind this. But what about in the New Testament? Do we find some kind of simple love like this? Basically, it's the lady with the perfume, right, that put up onto the hair of Jesus and clean his feet with her tear. So this is the lady with a simple love for Jesus. And Jesus rebuked those people saying that this, like can of perfume can sell a lot of money. No, they're hypocrites. And Jesus said, this lady will be put into every gospel. Everybody will know about her because she has prepared my way by the time I was crucified, okay, with that fragrance at the back. So this pure, perfect love is very critical to show she loved Jesus for what he has done for so many people. And finally, the simple love of Jesus to Peter. Remember that? He asked Peter, do you love me? And Peter said, yes. Do you love me? Peter said, yes. Do you love me? Peter said, yes, 3 times. And Peter started worrying. And he said, hey, Lord, you know I love you. And Jesus said, feed my lamb. Feed my lamb. Make you to become fishers of men. And basically, Jesus' intentionally telling him that you just not loving me is enough and finish. Reflect this simple true love to the people that have not receiving Christ, and then make him to become disciples of me. You see, so you have to share your love with these people as not Christian yet. So from that point, we can see the simple love is to share Christ with non-Christians, making them to be good, obedient child for the Lord. But we have that responsibility as an evangelist to make people believe in God, receiving Christ as their personal Savior. So we have to have a good, caring, simple love for all mankind as they can believe in God. So Jesus said, feed my lamb if you show that you love our Lord. Okay? But this is that simple title called Simple Love, right? Okay, basic in everything, simple in everything that we need to show and share to people around us, either to bring these people to become stronger Christians with our love of caring, and maybe also bring non-believers to becoming believer of Christ. Okay, become a good Christian. That's what we need to do, right? As Christians at the back also. By Jesus' kind of encounter with Peter, you feed my lamb and love the other people. Good. I finished my sermon tonight. Hope that you have a wonderful time understanding the whole stories. I thank God for that.